For centuries, a mystery has hung over a certain area of the Atlantic Ocean, an area that would later become known as the Bermuda Triangle, a place where the sea may appear calm, yet where stories arose of ships and planes vanishing without a trace, as if swallowed up by something invisible. What makes this place so different? Is it merely the power of nature, treacherous storms, strong currents, and human error? Or is there something here that we still do not understand? Magnetic anomalies? An unknown natural phenomenon? Or perhaps something that goes beyond science alone? The first echoes of the mystery date back to 1492. During his voyage across the Atlantic, Christopher Columbus reported strange phenomena in his logbook. His compasses suddenly deviated from their course, and mysterious lights appeared above the sea in the distance. To Columbus, these were merely strange occurrences during a long journey. But centuries later, many would see in this the beginning of a much greater mystery. For a long time, they remained merely stories, until 1918. That year, the USS Cyclops vanished without a trace into the Atlantic Ocean, with more than 300 people on board. The massive American naval ship was en route to Baltimore when it suddenly lost all contact. No distress signal, no wreckage, no bodies, as if the ship had simply vanished from the face of the earth. The disappearance caused worldwide bewilderment, but the mystery only deepened when, barely a few years later, another terrifying incident occurred. In January 1921, the Carola Deering transformed from an ordinary merchant ship into one of the most famous ghost ships in history. The enormous 5-masted ship was found abandoned near Diamond Shoals, off the coast of North Carolina, an area known as the Cemetery of the Atlantic. When the Coast Guard was finally able to board, they encountered a disturbing scene. The ship was almost completely intact. The sails were still standing, and meals were ready in the galley, as if the crew could return at any moment. But there was no one. The entire crew had vanished. The lifeboats were missing. The logbooks were gone. Even the navigation equipment seemed to have disappeared, as if someone had deliberately erased all traces. And once again, only silence remained. Yet no incident would make the Bermuda Triangle more famous than what happened in December 1945. 5 American torpedo bombers, known as Flight 19, departed for a routine training flight over the Atlantic Ocean. The mission seemed simple. The weather was initially normal. But not long after departure, disturbing reports began to come in. The group's leader, Taylor, reported over the radio that both compasses appeared to be malfunctioning. He no longer knew where west lay. Beneath the aircraft, the ocean stretched endlessly, strange and unknown, as if all landmarks had vanished. The pilots became disoriented. Radio messages became increasingly chaotic. Then, silence. The 5 aircraft vanished without a trace. But the most terrifying part was yet to come. Not long after Flight 19 disappeared, a rescue aircraft launched to search for the missing planes suddenly vanished as well, taking its entire crew with it. No distress call was heard. No wreckage was ever found. In a matter of hours, both the squadron and the rescue team had simply disappeared, as though the ocean and sky had erased them without a trace. From that moment on, the world began to view the Bermuda Triangle no longer as just a stretch of ocean, but as a place where the normal rules of nature and logic sometimes seemed to vanish. And the incidents did not stop. December 28, 1948. A Douglas DC-3 with registration NC16002 departs from San Juan for Miami with 32 people on board. The flight proceeds normally. Just before arrival in Miami, The crew makes one last radio contact. No panic, no distress signal. Then the aircraft disappears without a trace. Despite extensive search efforts, no wreckage or survivors are ever found. The disappearance of DC-3 later grew into one of the most famous stories surrounding the Bermuda Triangle. Shortly afterward, the British aircraft Star Tiger and Star Ariel also vanished without a trace. And in 1967, even a small luxury boat, the Witchcraft, seemed to simply dissolve into nothingness near the coast of Miami. On December 22, 1967, Donald Arono departed from the coast of Miami Beach, Florida, in the evening. Aboard his luxury yacht, the Witchcraft, he intended to show a guest the coastal Christmas lights from the sea. Just a few minutes after departure, a brief radio message came in. Arono indicated that he had seen something strange on or in the water, or possibly touched it. The message was short and unclear, after which all communications ceased abruptly. When the Coast Guard arrived on the scene, the yacht had completely disappeared. Extensive search operations were launched in the area, but they yielded no results. No wreckage, no oil slicks, and no body. To this day, no definitive explanation has been found for the disappearance of the Witchcraft. Over the years, scientists, researchers, and adventurers tried to explain the mystery. Some pointed to extreme weather conditions, dangerous ocean currents, and human error. But is that really the case? Could it be that influences from extraterrestrial hypotheses or paranormal phenomena played a role? However, these interpretations remain speculative and are not supported by scientific evidence. To this day, the incident remains a subject of debate, with both rational explanations and more theoretical interpretations playing a role, similar to other historical mysteries. Just as with the pyramids in Egypt, where humanity still grapples with unanswered questions regarding their true construction and purpose, other archaeological phenomena continue to raise questions. For instance, in Peru, alongside the famous mysterious lines, animal figures have been depicted that continue to baffle researchers to this day. This incident, therefore, appears to be part of a much larger pattern of unexplained historical events that continue to occupy scientists and researchers. These cases remind us how much of our world is still not fully understood, leaving room for both scientific inquiry and alternative theories. But that is a topic for another time. If you enjoyed this topic and would like to see more mysteries, unexplained disappearances, and historical enigmas, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us continue exploring the unknown. Until next time.